Hello everyone, this is Mumbo, and welcome back to another episode on the Hermitcraft server. It is episode 31, and today I'm in a good mood because it's a new week. Last week was tough. As you guys know, as I kept mentioning in the Hermitcraft episodes, I got a tiny bit behind last week. Obviously, we did the same day Hermitcraft episode. We did some other bits on the Hermitcraft server, which were really great fun. One of my Redstone videos I didn't like, so I ended up scrapping it. And then Sunday's Hermitcraft episode, for some reason, just didn't want to edit. Like, I was rendering it, and then every single time I watched it back, there would be something else wrong with it. I edited it, I think, 4 times in total, and then eventually it didn't want to upload, so it ended up going 2.5 hours late. I'm really, really sorry about that, but there was just nothing I could do, to be honest with you. It's just, the world was against me at that point in time. And then this morning, I've come into the studio, and my USB hub has stopped working, which means my computer has now been put in the same room as me, so you might, if you listen quite carefully, you might be able to just about hear the fans in the background, but hopefully I'll be able to fix that by the end of today's Hermitcraft episode. Needless to say, it's been an interesting one, but we've got a bunch of really awesome plans, and we're going to do tons of cool stuff on the Hermitcraft server, so I'm feeling positive. Also, shameless plug for the latest video that's just been released on the filming channel, the first one filmed with the Blackmagic Ursa Mini Pro. I know you guys take the mick out of me for this, so I'm just going to embrace it. You should check it out. Now, I think goal number 1 for today's Hermitcraft episode is to get myself some actually decent armor. Now, I've managed to gather up all these books right here from our Afk fish farm, but the only one that we don't seem to have right now is Depth Strider 3, and that's like my favorite enchantment. So, yeah, I don't know what to do, really. And mending on this guy. So, well, we actually added some extra things to that one as well, because we now have Fire Aspect 2 to add into the mix, making that a fairly ridiculous sword. Now, I don't think... I mean, I could see if I can add knockback. I can! And I will! And this should just about do it. Almost there. Almost fully mended up. Lots of noise going on. And there we go. Okay, so we have got... If I just chuck my armor back on, we have got one fully set up fortune pickaxe. We also have the silk touch pickaxe that is exactly the same as that one. We have this absolute monster of a sword with 7 enchantments on it, which I didn't actually think was possible, so that's completely ridiculous. We have the same axe and shovel because I didn't have any mending books for those. But then we have this beast of a helmet. We have this beast of an elytra, these beasts of diamond leggings, and then these diamond boots that unfortunately don't have Depth Strider 3. I couldn't get it. I couldn't get it. There were no books, so we'll have to do that some other day. We do now have mending on the shovel, though, because I just discovered that I had a mending shovel inside here. And you know what? Yeah, let's make it efficiency 5. Now that I am absolutely indestructible with ridiculous equipment and everything like that, I think plan number 1 for today's Hermitcraft episode is going to be to start work on the opposite side of that one. So as you can see, we've got this big nether room over here. It's all very nice and fancy. This one is going to be a villager breeder. So I thought we could have some form of villager breeder in this part of the base, and then we could transport the villagers elsewhere to take them off into the industrial area, the farming area that we're going to be building off in the distance. I don't actually think I've mentioned yet. So yeah, we're going to be building some form of farming area, like another one of these, but just full of farms. That's basically the plan there. But I think, yeah, that sounds good to me. I guess I should probably get some stained glass and start designing this thing. And obviously, to get stained glass, I need myself some bone meal. I really need to get myself some form of mob grinder. This is probably the longest I've ever gone on a Hermitcraft server without having a mob grinder. That could be a future project. I think the combination of Aqua Affinity, Respiration 3, and the fact that I have Resistance and Healing, or whatever that one is, has allowed me to just have an underwater potion. I now don't have to worry about potions of water breathing, because I can't actually die from being down here. Right, this should just about do it for the glass. So once again, we have got both layers of glass. We've got a prismarine line going around the inside, and this place should end up looking really, really cool. Now, I have had to go back and forth to the dirt hut a handful of times to get more of this stuff, and I've also had to get more bone meal in the end because this is actually quite a bit of glass right here. I always forget how big these rooms are, but we've got one more slit left to go, and there it is. So this is going to be the area in which our villager breeder is going to sit. Now, I mean, it does seem like quite a big area for just the villager breeder. But no, I imagine it's going to end up looking pretty cool. Now, one thing that I can't actually remember is, did we put the glass layer? I think this is where we did it on the previous one. So yeah, we'll do exactly the same thing on this one right here. That will kind of finish off the room, and then obviously we'll have to do all of the flooring and everything like that. And then comes the absolutely pain in the backside job of clearing out all of the water using the sponges. Which, come to think about it, I really can't think where the sponges are. Yeah, I'm going to have to look into that. And this is it. Okay, so this looks pretty similar to the one that we've got on the other side. Everything went fairly smoothly. And I imagine if we take a look at it from out the back here, it probably looks quite cool now that we have both of them on either side. Yeah, the base is looking a lot more substantial. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Okay, I wasn't expecting it to look that good. I've got a beaming smile on my face. I can't wait to get this thing lit up. But of course, it is still filled with water. So I think what I'm going to do is pop into a bit of a time lapse of me taking out all of the H2O. So in today's time lapse chat, I want to talk to you about personal standards and also getting defeated and disappointed, even though you've tried your best. Because this is something that I personally deal with quite often, and it's something that I feel like I should share with you because I'm sure some of you are going to find it interesting. And that is the fact that I personally have pretty high standards for everything that I take on. All the projects that I do in my life, I want to do to the best of my ability. And if I can't do them to the best of my ability, I do get disappointed. Now, I'm sure this is something that you can tell from the videos that I produce, at least I hope this is something you can tell, is that I like to put time and effort into things. So all of the Hermitcraft episodes, you can clearly see a lot of time and effort is been put into each one of those episodes. Obviously the Redstone videos, a lot of time and effort is put into the designing and the construction, and then we got the recording. And obviously with the filming channel, a lot of time, effort and consideration has been put into all of the angles that are being picked up, and then a lot of effort is being put in the editing suite and the color grading suite to make those videos look as good as possible. And that's just me on my own little journey of trying my best to make the best possible content I possibly can. That's basically what my aim is here. And if I can put out videos that I personally think look like they've had lots of time and effort put into them, then I have succeeded. And I feel like, you know, I've done a good job as a YouTube content creator. Now this is all well and good. Okay, I love this way of working, except sometimes, obviously, naturally, certain things that you do don't meet that standard. If you have high standards for content, then that means that, unfortunately, there are occasionally going to be projects that just get binned. And that actually happened this Saturday. So on Saturday, I didn't upload a Redstone video, got lots of tweets, got lots of messages about it, asking if I was dead and things like that. The truth is that I had made a Redstone video. Fully done it, done all the construction, the recording, the planning, the uploading, everything was scheduled, ready to go. Watched it back, didn't particularly like it that much. I just didn't like the video too much. So I binned it. I threw it away because I don't want to upload videos that I personally don't like, okay? In its own right, it was probably a pretty decent video. I'm sure a lot of you would have enjoyed it. You would have enjoyed your Saturday Redstone video, but a rule that I set myself very early on in my YouTube journey is that I never want to get to the stage where I'm just posting videos that I personally don't like, but I know the audience is going to like, because that's not where I sit. That's not where I'd like to be. But that doesn't mean that it's not horribly disappointing when it doesn't hit the bar. And I'm awful for this. I get defeated. I feel terrible. Vicky has to deal with my moaning for like a good 10 hours because that's the sort of thing that absolutely cripples me. And the thing that I want to pass on in this time-lapse chat is that you shouldn't feel like that. Because obviously if you set high standards, certain things aren't going to meet those standards. You just have to keep pushing, and then eventually you will end up with something that you're proud of. That was strangely motivational, wasn't it? Right, let's get back onto the Hermitcraft server. This is it, the final zone. 1, 2, 3. And actually that went a lot faster than I was expecting. We only needed 2 of those. So if you just place in the final block, that should be that. Okay, so we now have a fully cleared out zone for our villager breeder. It is going to be going somewhere inside this area. And I have to say, just like the nether portal room, This place looks fantastic, doesn't it? It really, really does look cool. Definitely one of my favourite designs for a room ever. But one thing that I have also realised is that, yeah, I don't have any form of lighting again. So this is going to become a horrendous mob spawner. On a side note, pretty much every single hermit is on the server right now. And BOO has actually put some armour on. Blimey. So the next plan for today's Hermitcraft episode is, well, we've got 21 wither skeleton skulls from our wither skeleton farming mission. So we have enough for 7 withers right here. And I think it's probably about time that we actually transform those wither skulls into actual beacons. Because right now they're just sat in my chest. They're not really doing anything. So I'm going to gather up some soul sand and then we're going to take them on in the very, very unmanly way. We're just going to use bedrock. I'm sorry. After some pretty scary flying around, I have managed to finally locate some soul sand. You wouldn't believe it, but by the look of things, I think the hermits have been going at the soul sand, and yeah, there doesn't seem to be any in any safe locations. So as you can see, I'm kind of teetering on the edge here. I found a massive quantity of it, and I'm going to pick up this stuff. I have no clue how much I'm going to need. Probably around about 100, and then we'll head over to the killing station. Right, so here we are, and as far as I remember, that should be it, and I should just be able to walk away and hope for the best that I haven't done this wrong or it hasn't changed in the latest Minecraft update. Okay, it looks like we're all good. I can just whack this dude. I'll be able to get tons upon tons of nether stars. I was terrified then. I genuinely was absolutely 100% terrified. Right, this is the final one, and that should just about do it. Now, I don't want to get too close to him, but there we go. There is the wither star. We have 7 in total. I'm actually surprised by how little XP you get from withers. I thought it was considerably more than that. I was expected to be on like level 1000 by now, but clearly that's not the case. But yeah, 7 nether stars, enough to make 7 beacons, which is pretty mega, and this is also pretty mega. Whoa, that floor looks incredible. Is that using like multiple layers? I won't look at it for too long because I don't want to spoil someone's build. But that floor. Oh. I've now dropped off all of the nether stars over in the dirt hut, in the precious chest, because we're going to be working on the storage system. Now, I'm kind of going to drop just the odd bit here and there, working on the storage system. Maybe I'll do a room, and then I'll work on other projects. I'll kind of like to and fro from it. But I think the first thing that I want to do, and the one thing that's really preventing me from getting started, is planning out where this thing actually is going to go. I want to put in a template. I want to know where I'm going to be building, and I want to know where these builds end so that I can kind of build around it and freestyle from there. So I guess I should probably open up the world and just trace it block for block using these slabs here. Now, there are various techniques for doing this, but by far the fastest way is to shift click. Shift click, shift click, shift click, shift click, shift click. You guys get the idea. You really can just do this extremely quickly. Hold down the shift click, shift click, shift click, shift click, shift click, and then hold down shift click, shift click, shift click, shift click, shift, 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 shift. Hold down the shift click, shift click, shift click, shift click, shift click, and then hold down shift click, shift click, shift click, shift click, shift click. Okay. Oh. Hold down the shift click, shift click, shift click, shift click, shift click, and then hold down shift click, shift click, shift click, shift click, shift click. That's good. Hold down the shift click, shift click, shift click, shift click, shift click, and then hold down shift click, shift click, shift click, shift click, shift click. Yeah, as you can probably tell, my brain has melted. Can you just hear the words kind of coming and fumbling out my mouth? Oh my word. Oh, I can't believe it. Now, I have to say, that was quite tricky. It involved quite a lot of counting and going back and forth and referencing the two designs and making sure that all of the block distances between certain areas are exactly the same. But this gives us a rough idea of where the builds are going to start going. And now I know where each section is going to go, I can actually start work on building the sections. But I have actually run out of time this evening. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm either going to go on an AFK session in the Guardian farm, or potentially do an AFK fishing session. I feel like an AFK fishing session would be better. We still need mending on our other bits of armor, and also while we do that, we get plenty of iron from the iron farm, which is also pretty handy. Sweet! I just came back to the AFK fish farm. I haven't done any AFK fishing yet. I was just chucking out some of the stuff, and there's actually a Depth Strider 3 book. That's the thing that I was looking for. It was in one of the hoppers. I don't know what's happened here. I really don't know what's happened here, but I've come back onto the server and I seem to be dead. So I came back onto the server. I'd been kicked for causing lag, apparently. But I seem to be dead. Now, I'm really scared here because, number one, I have literally just got the most flat-out armor I possibly could. That's really going to upset me if I... Oh no. There is a chance that I had all the nether stars on me as well. There was absolutely nowhere in which I could have been killed there. I didn't leave that open. I know for a fact I didn't leave that open. So, I think my guess is that... Oh, I know I didn't. I absolutely 100% know that I didn't leave that open. Thankfully, I didn't have the nether stars on me. I don't know what's happened there. I'm going to look back at the footage. I'm going to be honest, guys, I'm a bit down in the dumps about this one. I really am, just because I don't understand how it's... I don't understand it. I personally really don't understand what's happened here. But I think what I'm going to do is just quickly... Oh, I'm such a moron. I don't even need one of those. What a total waste. My brain has gone to mush. I'm upset. Oh... Those are like my last diamonds. Look, I've got less than a stack now. Right, well hopefully in this selection of books we can actually get a decent set of armor and basically recreate what we had going on beforehand. So, there is efficiency 4, that's going to be handy. We got respiration 2. That's got to have some decent stuff inside it. Yeah, we've got a few bits and pieces in there. Efficiency 4 again, I'm going to need that for the axe. Infinity for the bow. Depth Strider 3, fantastic. Sweeping Edge, good. I mean, what a thing to happen though. I don't understand how it's happened. I really cannot understand how it's happened. Anyway, I'm going to look through all these books. Hopefully there's at least 1 or 2 mending ones. Yes, okay. So we're going to get a few here and there. It's not going to be as good as the armor that I literally just got at the start of this episode, but I guess that's just life, isn't it? That's right, at this point in time, I am having to live off of rotten flesh. That's how poor I am. Oh man, well, I've got all of the books. We've got ourselves a pretty decent set right here. I'm just going to try and find an ender chest so that I can get access to one of the 9 elytra that I have, which is handy. And then we should be able to get back up to fighting form. But I'm still really upset. It's put a massive downer on my mood. I was so excited to get in today. I'm also an even bigger moron because I totally forgot. Ah! I forgot that I've got so much armor in my ender chest that I didn't even need to craft all that stuff. I've wasted 20 diamonds crafting rubbish, and I better not throw that out. Actually, that was my only source of food. And also this can go because it's never going to get repaired. Okay, so I think I am now there with the armor. The armor is now looking pretty good. We have got this up at the top, Aquafinity, Respiration 3, we have Mending. One thing that we definitely do need on that one is Unbreaking 3, so I'll quickly do that as well. But also we've got Mending on the Elytra, and all of that on the boots as well. So we need Unbreaking 3 on this, Unbreaking 3 on this, And then I guess we should do all the pickaxes and things as well. I think we're just about done. Unbreaking 3 there. And efficiency 5 on the shovel, because why not? So now we have... Okay, we need... Oh, for goodness sake! So there we go. We have managed to get all of my stuff back. I am still down in the dumps about this, especially because at the start of today's episode, I spent ages getting all of my equipment perfect. So I had all the perfect equipment. I was really, really happy with my situation. I couldn't wait to just start Minecrafting and get going, and then I died! I died. I guess this is going to be something else that we're going to have to work on over the next couple episodes. I'll try my best to get back up to the dizzying heights of the start of today's Hermitcraft episode. But for the time being, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, that is all I've got time for today. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please sure to hit that like button. And if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later.